Okay, we going live now. Just had to do a couple of things on my end. So, how y'all doing tonight? Welcome to the very special stream tonight. I am here to commemorate the fact that I got 400 fans on Newgrounds. So that's gonna be a fun time, believe it or not. So, in any case, for anyone who joins in on this stream who is coming in from Newgrounds, I want to thank you very much for following me and putting up with my shenanigans for the past couple of years. And that being said, I do want to get started on the stream at the very least. So, yeah, I'm trying to do... This is basically a test for me. So, I essentially went over to Streamlabs and I decided to rearrange some stuff. And really just kind of put in a brand spanking new background. Well, it's the same background for my website anyhow. Let's get me on here so you see the talking head that is controlling everything that's going on in this stream. Oh, yes. So, just to show that I am not BSing on this. Okay, let's add in another window capture just for one quick second. And I am going to put this to, let's see here. Alright. So as you can see here, essentially, I now have 400 fans, as you can see. Boop, 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 boop. So, that being said, this is kind of a special thank you art post. So normally with what I've been doing, I've been just doing a couple of quick drawings here and there. As I do the art streams that I have been doing, but tonight is a special night. So, with that in mind, we are gonna do something, up to my alley. I'm going to be using my master palette tonight. And this is going to take a very, very different direction from what I usually go in. That being said, so is it going to be anything super serious? Probably not, but at the very least, I can have fun with this, because that's what this is about, right, guys? Actually, no, art is serious business. But, yeah, I guess to really kind of kick off this whole stream is that, honestly, when I started being more active on Newgrounds in 2017, I didn't really expect to gain like a large following, so to say, but since things kind of ended up picking up for a lot of reasons, like post-pandemic, it essentially got a lot more interesting for me as I developed my own craft and continued posting to Newgrounds altogether. So, in some respects, it's kind of a bit of a milestone for me to get this many followers on Newgrounds. Sure, I have some followers on Instagram, but to become Newgrounds, a small Newgrounds creator achieved like a small following. That's kind of a really humbling feeling to get, for lack of better words. So, And yeah, so I am just gonna have a little bit of a fun time here. And other than that, I was actually watching one of my friends' streams, Gemini Gemini X2. One of my friends from college. Hello, glitching. And usually I'm just on there to kind of like just have a little bit of fun, you know. But they're one of the best artists that I know. But we have fun in those streams. So, other than that, how are you doing tonight, glitching? I'm not really sure how I like this tip so far. Very fine, and you? I am doing very good tonight. For obvious reasons. As you already know, I got a substantial amount of followers on Newgrounds, which is why I'm doing this stream tonight. And just having a little bit of fun. But other than that, I actually had a pretty good day because earlier I actually did bother to go ice skating, which is always nice whenever I have a chance to go ice skating. Just gives me a chance to like just kind of relax and chill. So, yes, it's been a very, very, very good day for me. Hurrah. So, I think I'm just gonna have like a drawing of my character with a little bit of an attitude, I guess. May as well double down on my character having my typical personality when I'm on Newgrounds. Because after all, why not? Like, other than that. Okay, let's see. Like, and the other thing too is that, like, with the thing I'm doing now, I'm gonna try to at least see if I could get some of my followers from Instagram to come into the Twitch stream, so to say. Honestly, like, I'm looking to start doing Twitch a bit more regularly, so whatever I can do to go a little bit beyond, like, Newgrounds as a channel to let people know when I'm doing stuff, like I can also do on Instagram. It's me just kind of putting myself out there, so to say. For lack of better words. So, other than that, it's really just me having some fun tonight. and trying to figure out what the heck is going on in the world, you know? Some scary, scary things are out there these days, but I digress. Is there anything entertaining? Pokemon models are getting redesigned from Wind and Wave. Leak suggests. So I guess we're already in the works for making new Pokemon games, which I don't know how I feel about Wind and Wave. Like being the titles, if that's really the case. That's just not fun. New Silksong patch adds more controller support, squashes bugs. But I am a bug in Silksong. Other than that, Silksong now compatible with DualSense Edge controllers. So I'm just kind of looking at the news for this real quick as I'm going along with my artwork of total chaos and mayhem. So Hollow Knight Silksong version 1.0.28891 is now live. The latest patch for Team Cherry's game released Monday adds DualSense Edge controller compatibility, along with improved controller support on Mac and a feature that automatically pauses the game if the controller disconnects, preventing moments of frustration due to signal loss. Okay, I actually kind of like that change. Especially sometimes given my controller can act a little bit wonky with Silksong at points. Additionally, the new update features some bug fixes. Several issues resulting in players falling or being dragged out of bounds have been fixed, and multiple bugs found in boss fights and other enemy encounters have been remedied. They really went down on making all these changes for whatever reason. Like, honestly, I'm actually kind of glad because I do want to do more Silksong streaming, but at the same time too, I also got to make sure that my controller actually works. Yeah, and a lot of it just kind of talks about the specifics of each change of the update. So yeah, that's actually kind of a good thing. And what else? I guess in terms of other things that is happening, let's see here. A long-lost classic by the iconic director of Frankenstein is finally getting its due. The Old Dark House isn't precisely a horror comedy, but it combines creaky house atmosphere with some farce-style laughs. So I've never heard of this movie before, but a part of me is genuinely interested in this article in specific. So let's see here. Director James Whale was on a tier for the first half of the 1930s, directing 3 of the very best Universal monster movies: Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, and Bride of Frankenstein. During that run, he also made The Old Dark House, which isn't quite so famous on account of being out of circulation for several decades. Eventually fought loss. Now restoration of the rise of free streaming has made it one of the era's more perpetually accessible classic horror movies. That might give me something to watch, because I'm always down for watching a couple of horror movies, per se. Horror is always a fun genre. So... And yes, I am drawing my character with a middle finger in the air. We're bringing back the Attitude Era style of shit. Yes. So we're just gonna have a lot of fun doing this particular stream. For anyone who's just coming in, hello. Don't mind me, I'm just having some fun doing some Attitude Era graphics. I mean, we may as well. Honestly. I mean, if you're gonna draw something, you may as well have some fun with it. Yes. So, other than that. Okay, let's see. So, foe's characters converge by chance during a storm. When travelers Philip, Raymond, Massey, Margaret, Gloria Stewart, 65 years before she was the old lady in James Cameron's Titanic. So, we already have like a fairly big name in this movie. Oh yeah, he definitely flipping someone off. As for who, I don't know. Okay. So, Roger by Melvin Douglas, William, Nut of a Hunter, director Charles Laughton, and Gladys. Lion Bond all seek shelter from a raging countryside storm. They find the home of Horace, Ernest Fisker, and Rebecca, Eva Moore, elderly siblings who live with their mute-looming butler Morgan, Boris Karloff, and maybe others? Some strange noises coming from upstairs, the correspondingly strange behavior of the owners, and the house's many shadowy corners all seem to suggest something else threatening, even beyond the lumbering, silent Karloff. Yeah, I feel like this movie would be something I'd check out in my spare time. Just for the ha-has and whatnot. Okay. Yeah, that movie sounds like it's very fun. It definitely sounds like something that I'd probably watch in my spare time. So who knows? If I actually manage to get my subscription for Shudder by the end of the week, and if it happens to be on there, I would be happy to watch it just because. Yeah. So, honestly, so that being said, I'm actually very appreciative that people are still restoring very old films that some people are assuming are lost to time. That being said, because for me, being the art buff and somewhat of a movie buff, whenever a new thing comes out, it's like eh. But when it's like an older thing that hasn't been seen for years, it's like, ooh, that'll be fun. So yeah, I am kind of looking forward to that. Yeah. So let's up the ante here a little bit. Because I'm gonna do something a little bit specific here. Too big of a font. I was working on pushing out that ad for Instagram and Newgrounds, so to say, just to get this party happening. Alright, I think that'll do it. Ah! I don't like that. Anyhow. Alright. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very specific graphic. I may as well reduce the opacity of this for now, just so I can see what I'm doing in my cleanup. But I have an idea of how I want this to go. So I may as well just have some fun here. Alright. So, as for how stylized I want this to go, I haven't quite figured that out yet. But I do have a very good idea of how I want this to go. When I can already visualize something, I just go for it. And if anything, this is at least one of those things where I can just have some fun. Which is the more important part about all this. Okay. And yes, I am being very, very, cartoony here, despite my use of the how do I call this? In spite of my use of proper anatomy tool skills, I am actually making this into a bit of a comic, cartoony feel. Which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. Assuming that I know what I'm doing, which for the most part I generally do. Honestly, a part of me feels like I should have put on like Limp Bizkit while I'm drawing this, because I was drawing I was listening to that on my way to the ice rink, and that just kind of put me in the mood to do something with the Attitude Era in mind. Actually, honestly, part of the reason why I'm kind of going for this aesthetic in particular is because I got inspired by the bootleg Calvin stickers. If anyone is aware of how Calvin and Hobbes like had a ton of like bootleg products, which is all one hell of a matter there. I mean, I'm not even sure if I can, or maybe I can, I don't But if you've seen like those bootleg Calvin and Hobbes stickers where Calvin is just pissing on the Ford logo, that's kind of the inspiration for this look. So, well, I can't find like the image I'm looking for on DuckDuckGo. Oh well. Either way, it's not necessary. And just drawing my ass with a shitting grin. Which is what I assume is a shit-eating grin as it's supposed to look like. It's often said that in real life I have that a lot, so... I feel like there's some sort of irony, though, if I'm listening to lo-fi music as I'm drawing this. Which is where there's a real sheer irony in that. Yes. I actually feel very confident in the hands for this. Okay. Duplicate that. Get rid of the rough. We no longer need the rough. That being said, What color do I want to go for this? I feel like I should just go for an underground comics look or something like that. I don't know. Trouble is, I don't even know how I can get that to work in pixel art form. I could probably figure out something. So, yeah, why not? Let's figure out something here. I'm gonna make this hand slightly bigger. Just a smidge. Okay, and now we can color this. Right. Everyone's being awfully shy today. So it would seem. I could be wrong, though. But hey. After all, this stream only just started not too long ago. Okay. I know it's only like 44 minutes into the stream, but I do have to go to the bathroom real quick. So, I am going to take a quick break at the moment. Okay, I am back. So sorry about that. Something I ate didn't really agree with my system, but hey, I'm back now, so what does it matter? Anyhow, continuing on with our lovely little thing here. And this is purely me doing a thing for Newgrounds. Alright. And let's have this color here. Kind of more of akin to what I've been doing for a while with my Twitch avatar, but honestly, I kind of prefer this aesthetic for some of the more edgier things I do. Right. No worries. Alrighty. Right. So how am I going to end up making this go in the direction I want it to go in? Is one of the big questions I always ask myself when I'm drawing. It's never an easy thing to figure out, but once you do figure out what you're going for, the rest of it kind of feels like magic, honestly. In some ways it could be a good thing. Sometimes not so much, because certain things that you think were working initially have to change. But once you figure out what you want, it's always a blast. So, if it's worth any of my yapping on any of this kind of thing, then yeah. Like, whenever you draw, shit just comes out, like, naturally. Once you have, like, the proper layout for everything, it just comes out naturally. I feel like that could be just like one of those things that I could just say all the time and it will never get old. It just comes out naturally. Hello. Alright. Yeah, I kind of got to a point where I was locked in a little bit. Like, it's really easy to get hyper-focused and locked in on what you're doing whenever you're drawing, I feel like. Because sometimes you just kind of forget that everything else exists. So far. But we know we can polish it to a very good degree. And who knows, if I'm in the mood for it, I may draw a little bit more than just one tonight. Never know. As of right now, this is kind of its own drawing. Corpse Party. Now that's one game I have not heard of yet until now. What is Corpse Party about? Out of my own curiosity. Like, honestly, would love to know what it's about just because I have no idea what it is at all. Um... Hmm. Hmm. So... So far, things are looking good with this. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's bring this up here. do want that magic wand tool. Inverse for selection. Let's expand the border. Doesn't have to be that many pixels, so I'm gonna go with 3. Actually, maybe 3 might even be too much now that I look at it. Corpse Party is a survival horror game. Okay. Sounds like it would be a fun horror game, right? Okay, so where's that? I got an idea to help enhance this. Copy, delete that. Let's add in a new later. Yeah, that works actually quite a lot better than what I originally had in mind. It is relatively quiet. Otherwise, I don't know. Who knows? Hmm. Let's get some anti-aliasing and shading of the clothes. I think it most definitely needs it. Let's see what else is on Newgrounds at this point. Kind of curious. Out of context Newgrounds screenshots. Yeah. Alright, some of these actually are good. You know what? I think I just found the perfect quote from the out of context thread. And anyhow, let us add in this quote from Wegra. Why not? Having a little bit of a Newgrounds flair into this is going to be more funny for the stream, I think. We're just gonna put it right here. Just reading this post right here out of context is just so much. I can relate to it, believe it or not. I can relate to Allegra's ship post, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I haven't quite determined that yet. Okay, and... that'll do. May not be part of a master palette, but you know what? I don't care. It just fits. Alright. Okay. Somehow my stream froze? Nope. It just got back up. Alright, cool. So... What the fuck? Alright, so here's a stupid article I found from Polygon. There's a new Steam demo where you have to play as a shit that has to navigate to the toilet. Not word for word, but it's exactly what it sounds like. Steam Next Fest is here, and we already found plenty of cool new indie games to explore, but this might be the strangest one yet. Described as a retro poopy precision platformer, Unco Technicia offers 150 retro-inspired stages where you play as a turd in search of a toilet. Unco means poop in Japanese. Every day's a school day. Yeah, sure. Boy. You know what? I'm just gonna put this in this chat. Because I don't really know where to go with this one. This is by far the strangest fucking thing I've ever seen out of Polygon for sure. Like, first of all, basically according to what this writer is talking about, or this so-called journalist, you're playing as a sentient fucking turd. Like, who came up with this? First off, like, I've heard, like, of plenty of strange games, and I do know of plenty of strange games. I think one of the weirdest ones is, and I kid you not, a chair fucking simulator. Which is arguably the weirdest one of them all, for obvious reasons. Ironically enough, Vinny has actually played this game. And I've actually sent it to a couple of my friends as a deliberate joke, but that's another story altogether. But yeah, why would I want to play as a sentient shit? Just so many things that are wrong with that, but it is a thing. Right now I'm just trying to give myself stuff to yap about. If that was the first thing that comes across my feed in Polygon. Well, anyhow, that's a thing. Some of these devs out there, I mean, honestly, like, I would expect this kind of thing on itch.io more than anything else. It is. Hello, Vinity. How you doing? Ugh. This pixel art process looks very meticulous. Yes. There's a reason why I get this meticulous with my thing. Okay. So now that we have that down, alright. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Honestly, if I can at some point, I gotta find out what's going on at the movies and see if I can get a few buddies to go. Like, I haven't been to the movie theaters in so long. Like, I feel like this happens every now and then, where it just feels like I haven't been to see something off a silver screen for a while. And then I forget what a movie theater looks like. Until I end up going back to one, it's just like, oh, so if this is what a movie theater looks like, okay. Like, has anyone ever had that happen to them, or is it just me? there's that aspect of it. Right. Get back there. Hate it when that happens. Whoa, okay, I did not want that to happen. Okay. Alright, having some more fun with this now that I have been. It's like that vision I had from the beginning, actually, and it's now taking the shape I want it to, which is awesome. Okay, and all right. And this is one thing I love about the contour tool. Because if you need to like color a wide area and draw over a wide area, boom, it just fills it right in. And that's nice for a lot of reasons. Okay. It's getting somewhere. I think we need another color for the hair as far as shading goes. Alright. I think this is going along quite well. Certainly getting somewhere. That's for sure. Right. And this is why we have all the fun. Alright. You know what? Just for a little bit, I think I can kind of get away with this. If this ends up getting muted, then whatever. I'm willing to chance it for the Attitude Era aesthetic I'm going for. And it's just an instrumental, so no lyrics. It's definitely a very Limp Bizkit feeling day. Like, if this is not a vibe shift from the lo-fi music I've been playing, I don't know what is. I really do not know what is. Hello, Pizza Pasta. Thank you very much. I got 400 fans and all the attitude. And that's really all I need. Especially the attitude part. And yes, this is kind of a bit of a satirical funny on my part. Alright. Well, that could be easily fixed, can it? There we go. It's an easy fix. No, I really want to go for a middle finger. I actually don't mind you mentioning that, by the way. I'm actually kind of glad that you pointed that out. Okay. Actually, while I'm at it. Okay, so yeah, honestly, it's very easy to get those two fingers mixed up. I'm not gonna lie about that. As much as I would love to play the take a look around with lyrics, I have a feeling that I probably would not be able to get away with that. So I guess we're going back to Daft Punk inspired cyberpunk. Well, not exactly what I was playing initially, but hey. At least as far as the live version is concerned, I was able to play that exact music. As for whether or not I'll get away with it for Twitch, another story, but... Okay. Alright. You know, the funny thing is, aside from, like, this specific caption, I could probably come up with a couple of different ones. Oh yes. We always gotta have the attitude. Okay. So... I just want to try something here. Yeah. Except the only difference between this and the captions of the 2010s is that I'm using a VCR font. The funny thing is, if I really wanted to, I could definitely fuck around with the styling of this and really just kind of create a couple different captions for this particular image just for ha-has. Alright, let's select the inverse here. And let's expand the border by 2 pixels. Alright, well, Nelly. Alright. Export this as a ping. So now just give me one moment here while I export these. Alright, because now that that's out of the way, I do have other ideas I kind of want to implement here. Just for fun, and I don't know. Let's get a little bit of interaction going with this, because if anyone has a really good caption that can fit with this, and if I like it, I'll make a version dedicated with that caption. But I do have like another one in mind while I'm at it. I mean, I don't know. That one might work, but I already had like the 400 fans and all the attitude one. I think we could do a bit better than that, yeah? Alright, I got one. And this is one I would love to say to some specific group of people. Alright. Might have to do this in two. I have no idea what happened with that X-Sphere, but I'll fix that. Alright, so... Okay, I like that one. I like that one. We'll do that one, pizza pasta. That is definitely something that I would love to add in. Yes. Soon as I get in the border for this caption, I'm going to get right on that one. Alright, select the inverse. And let us expand the border by 2. This font is called VCR OSD Mono. That is the name of a font. You can probably find it online. That's how I found it anyway. No problem. Oh shit. And let's get rid of that stray pixel, because that's going to bother me to no end. Okay. Duplicate, duplicate, and duplicate. Somehow this man should become an aesthetic all of its own. And I'm having all the fun with it. Congrats, Pizza Pasta. Alright. Now let's select fee inverse. Expand the border by 2 pixels. That's fine as it is. Just curious. Good enough. Now I gotta export this version of it. And alright, so that's enough of that one. Now let's go for the suggestion Pizza Pasta had. And if anyone else has any other suggestions, definitely like throw them out there, because if anything, I just want to be able to come up with a couple different ideas out of this. And yeah, a lot of people do fall for his rage baits. Honestly, there are just some days where I just choose to interact with him just for ha-has. Even though I know he's just rage baiting. Okay, now I can select the inverse of this. Okay. Alright. I just came up with another one off the top of my head that I know is going to piss people off. At least a certain fan base, so to say. I may have to expand the canvas size for this to work. Let's get that width to about 350. Okay, that's a little bit better. Alright. Alright, so if there's one part of it. This is probably going to be the more rage-baiting caption of all of them. I know what I'm doing here. I have no apologies for this fan base. Like, I guess apparently Taylor Swift's new album sucks and she's not handling that very well. Guess you could say she's not shaking it off. Yeah, I think all of us try giving Taylor Swift a chance at some point. I mean, I will be honest, like, had she not made the switch from country to pop, I probably wouldn't have as many issues with her as I do now. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that. Yeah, Swifties are just fucking annoying for a lot of reasons. Like, all of a sudden you say something that offends her queen, and it's just like, yeah! Like, it's annoying. Like, for a lot of reasons. Honestly, if I do my own independent voice acting gig, my own little independent voice acting skit, I'm probably gonna come up with something that just mocks all the Swifties and anyone can animate it after that. Like, legit, I would welcome that. What's this? Okay. I think that will quell my concerns with some of those stray pixels. Maybe. We'll see if it really interests me. Like, I mean, as long as, like, the idea is something that, like, I'd be willing to work with, then yeah. But I can make no such guarantees, FYI. Yeah. Honestly, Venti, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Thankfully, I'm a very patient person. Actually, I want to make sure that this is accurate. Okay, here we go, and boom, 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 boom. And boom. Yeah, it's a very easy thing to get into the habit of. It's actually kind of fun too. Okay. No. Don't know why caps lock turned on, but it did. Okay, and I'm gonna need this. Okay. Unless anyone else has any other suggestions, I've pretty much come up with all the captions I can. Because I'm starting to think that after I finish this one, I may just move on to something else. Alright. Have a good one, glitching. Alright. So I think far as drawing this particular piece goes, I've had my fun with it. I've made at least 4 different versions of it. So all of them are definitely going to be going up on Newgrounds later. With that being said, I am going to take a quick break. Once I get back, I'm thinking I might play a little bit of Elatro. That's what I am feeling at the moment. Yeah, no problem. So